To get you oriented, I've prepared a map to show where the board wants to build that new stadium. It's in the southeastern section of Garland on Centerville Road. The star represents the site where the new stadium will be built. In the shaded pink area, or light gray if you're watching by black and white, are homes like these. Some of the opponents who live in these homes, those opponents to the stadium, say it would make their neighborhood become heavily congested with traffic, which would be hazardous to their children. Others don't like the idea of looking out their back door and seeing a football stadium glaring back. The small patch of blue on the map, or dark gray if you're watching by black and white, is a little ritzier section of southeast Garland. In this area, you'll find doctors, architects, and contractors, just to name a few, living in houses like these. They too don't want the cheering and the noise that usually accompany a football game. Besides, a football stadium down the road from these homes doesn't exactly dress up the neighborhood. The people protesting the construction of the new stadium have formed a new organization called the South Garland Improvement Association. Two members of that group are Mrs. W.A. Farr and Cole Smith. Both explained why they oppose the new stadium.
Of course, I have several objections. One is the cost of the stadium, and of course the location of the stadium, and the traffic situation. Well, the location would break down into several problems. One would be the traffic. We're backed up against the lake, and we can only go one way, and that's out Centerville, either to the east or west, or north or south as it might be. And the stadium will just completely clog our end of town. We expect to have cars parked up and down this street out here, Country Club. And of course they'll have to cut back through Mrs. Farr's area, and that'll probably be parked solid.
Well, when you addressed the board, did they indicate that they were going to do anything about this, or are they going to go ahead as planned?
I polled them to a man and asked them each specifically if they would reconsider the site. And I got sort of halfway answers. One answer was, well, we're reconsidering it right now. I took that to mean that they'd reconsidered it right then, and that was it. We asked for a spot on the next school board meeting. Then I asked, will you stop any movement up there, any construction, any action, whatever it is you're doing up there now, putting out little stakes with red flags and surveying and whatever else they're doing up there. Will you stop that temporarily until we can get this resolved and see if there's not a better place to put this? There's bound to be a better place than bottling up children and a safety hazard, or bottling up people that can't get out of their homes.
Do you know of anyone else in the